And you three, Eldrin, back at the hook and sinker.
How many guards are around us? Just the one? Or
So right now, so far you've seen the 2 guards that are in this little entrance area. Oh, let me get the link out to the map.
Yeah.
Should be the same one, but just in case.
It is, yeah.
So there's the 2 guards over here, if you're looking at the screen share, that are in the little gatehouse. And since access into this area is restricted, they have no other guards that you have noticed. So the only guard with you at this moment is Tessa Ironshield herself, the chief of security. Everybody else around you seems to be workers that are awaiting orders, maybe organizing some things. But while you're in here, nobody is opening or messing with the locks of the gates.
Do those people look armed?
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
The other workers.
Yeah, I'd like to see if they look like they're carrying key rings to get in and out.
Right, that is 16.
Okay. And then for Zander, 11. So Valner, from what you can tell on most of them, they aren't carrying any sort of weapons.
They're just workers.
On them, yeah. They're just workers. The only one who is weaponed at the moment is Tessa. She's carrying a 2-handed sword that's across her back. And Zander, while you're looking for keys, you're not really seeing any like openly visible on any of these workers. And like I said, none of them are moving to like go and open up a door or anything at this point.
Okay.
So nobody's like reaching for them.
Out, as we continue, if anyone go in and out the doors, or if they're let in and out by guards.
And
go ahead and roll an insight check real quick.
And how they get in and outside the doors. Are there like is there any noticeable, like, you know, they wave their hand and all of a sudden they can go through the door or something?
Insight. Zander, you get the feeling that while visitors are here, and since Tessa said that she isn't at liberty to open up or show the inside of these chambers for obvious reasons, you would guess that they're not opening them because you're here on a tour.
I'm just going to walk up and then back down, you know, try and get to my bearings. Between how much distance is between each cell off to the left and off to the right, and then make my way back.
Okay. So yeah, you do see that these are equally distanced doors, and Tessa had mentioned that they are each 15 by 15 foot cells. Yes, and the Tessa, doors themselves have 3 different locks on them.
Yeah, Tessa, it looks like there's very secure. My tapestry should be in good hands. Thanks for showing us this area, and yes, we can continue.
Yeah, no problem. Well, if there's no other questions about the holding area, we'll go back upstairs.
Yes, I would like to.
While we're walking by, can I just try to like bump into one of them and see if I can hear keys jingle?
Go ahead and roll either sleight of hand or like a performance, maybe.
$11.
Okay.
I'm gonna reload.
So there's this one that's walking up right behind you, and as he's kind of walking past, you clock him and make a note to step back and bump into him, and he kind of is jostled a little bit by the experience, and you do hear some jingling of metal. Go ahead and roll perception or Yeah, let's do a perception check.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him guidance.
Just because you're kind of doing two things, yeah. Oh, nice. You definitely hear the jingle of keys
Oh, I'm sorry, good sir.
as he trips a little bit. At
Very
this,
quiet.
you see that Tessa's eyeballing you very suspiciously. She kind of narrows her eyes a little bit at you. Says, if there's nothing else, we can continue back upstairs.
Yes, continue on.
And as you got... Can I select this one? Oh, wrong one. Hang on. I have to be on the right screen to be able to do that. And yeah, as she continues on through here, you guys actually see... I'm going to go like this and move you guys that way so he can move out. You guys see this door open up in this area off to the left, the kind of paid for auction item area, and see an elderly man walk out. He is, let me just make sure I've got my notes correct. Bum, 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 bum. This is... Where is his name? This is Elias Vesper, and Tessa Ironshield gestures at him and says, this is our curator, Elias Vesper. And he's an elf that's fairly elegantly dressed, white hair, and he looks to be in his head, almost doesn't notice you until he hears his name and looks up and goes, oh, hello. What can I do for you?
Oh, a pleasure. We were just, getting a tour from Tessa, and I actually have a product that is being looked at right now for a possible setup for auction this coming Zhelezo, this coming Saturday.
Ah, that is very interesting. You must be the one that I was called upstairs for to inspect the item. Shall we continue up there then?
I'm
Yes,
gonna poke Eliza very subtly on the back of Eliza on the back of the armor and cast light, and I want to have it just be like a random color flashing, almost like a strobe armor.
Okay. Casting light so it strobes.
Yeah. So his armor just like starts glowing all random, like he doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Okay. Go ahead and roll sleight of hand just to see if you can do this sneakily. Or maybe even stealth, if that's what you're trying to do. If you're not trying to block at all, then something else might happen. But
Yeah, I'm just trying to poke him and just. It's 14.
okay, so yeah, you're able to kind of reach behind as Tessa is kind of introducing and looking back and forth to Valner, and you're able to cast light on the back of his hood, and he looks around a little bit and just goes, "Did it suddenly get brighter in here to anyone?"
He's wearing a
And
metal chest plate, right?
no, he's wearing robes of cloth.
Okay, yeah, I would do the robes then. So like the whole person is like strobing.
Yeah, he's wearing cloth robes that are green. They're kind of inlaid with gold, and he's got a red cloak that does not have a hood that kind of goes about to his waistline or so.
Yeah.
So you want to do that on the
clothing
cloak.
would just like cause like a lot of bright light around, so everybody's like focused on him, and he's like WTF.
Okay. Let me check it out real quick. Just the light spell.
Yep. 20-foot radius, dim light,
Yeah.
additional 20 feet. Light could be any color you like. Completely
Bright
covered
light
an
and
object
20.
with something opaque blocks of light.
All right. And he just, yeah. Did it suddenly get light in here? And then she looks, Tessa looks at the cloak and just goes, your cloak is lit up, has lit up again. She wasn't supposed to say again. That's my bad.
Well, in all the chaos, I'm gonna try to sleight of hand the person behind us to see if I can get some keys. Like I'm backing up, like whoa.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a performance check. And I believe you should still have guidance on you.
Did you hear?
Go ahead and roll performance, and then I got to do some rolls for these guys.
He's going to push me back into the guy.
Okay.
Like,
And then, Holly, go ahead and assist with a performance check yourself. Get a screen where I can see those.
what? My screen shows a natural 20, and it says I rolled an 8.
That's great.
What?
So a 10 and then a 15 plus 3, so 13 and a 15. Okay.
It's not adding up here.
And then, so that's the performance to see if it's believable. And let's go ahead and do a sleight of hand from you, Zander. Feel free to continue to add guidance.
Okay. Oh, did she roll well, I think?
On Van, no. She was helping with the performance. So again, that's to see how believable it was. And then a 3 for sleight of hand plus guidance.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what guidance is.
Are you sure? It's a contested roll.
5.
Okay, so 5. Yeah. As soon as she kind of bumps into you, you make it look super believable, and the person behind you, the worker behind you, kind of sidesteps, and as you go to reach out for their cloak or their person, they just kind of grab their cloak out of the way, so that you fall behind them.
Oh, can you help me up,
They
sir?
were able to see it coming along. And he just goes,
Right here, hold my shield for a sec so I can get out. This thing's heavy.
go ahead and roll a deception check, because I'm assuming you're wanting to pickpocket.
Yeah, I was gonna toss it up and while he's trying to catch it. And this is still in the midst of the chaos of light.
Right, so light's still going on, and as much chaos as it's caused caused more attention to be drawn to Elias.
Okay. Deception, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
So you're asking for help, but you're not wanting help. You're wanting to pickpocket the man.
Do I still have guidance or no?
Yeah, I think it's a concentration, right? So it's up as long as however.
14.
14.
I need to start blowing on my dice or something.
He looks at you, and he very cautiously grabs his robe and not his robe, his cloak, kind of pulls it around him, and then reaches down for you.
Oh, thank you.
And helps lift you up.
Does he glow like that often?
That is the first time. There are some odd artifacts in here every now and then, meanwhile, the other two, Tessa and Elias, are just kind of that's very odd. And he unclasps his cloak and then kind of wraps it up and just holds onto it on his arm. So now that it's covered.
Magical stuff to prevent things like that from happening.
You said what?
I thought you had magical spells to protect things like that from happening.
Tessa turns around and says, "No, I mentioned that we have some spells that set off alerts if somebody is trying to do something nefarious."
Gotcha, good man.
During that conversation, could I try to pickpocket the guy that helped Zander up?
Yeah, I think you're welcome to. Go ahead and roll sleight of hand for that while he's helping him up. I'm going to have you do it at disadvantage. He rolled a nat 20 on his insight to see what he was playing at. So he's a little on edge. Oh, dang.
Well, disadvantage, she didn't.
Oh, with disadvantage, though. So a 9. You kind of clamber up there as well to help Zander. But as you reach for the other guy's hand, he's kind of watching you as well. And then there's this other guy. Let me actually draw on the map. There's this other guy right here that's kind of watching this all unfold. And so you're not quite able to reach in there. Fortunately, none of them react poorly to the situation.
Shoot. Should give you code names. Z. You can go ahead and stop trying to see how weak their defenses are against the against magic or other events like that. It looks like you. It looks like Tessa, you do a good job at training your guards to ensure that their property is kept on their bodies. Please let us continue upstairs.
I was going to say deception, but it doesn't necessarily seem deceptive. Maybe persuasion could be deceptive.
Maybe if we were successful, it might have.
Right, exactly.
Oh shoot, 10.
Okay. She just goes, yes, we do tend to inform our workers back here of potential threats. Again, we have to keep the utmost security.
I imagine the best security can be found here. So if this is as tight as it gets, then I assume that upstairs is just as tight. So yes, let's continue on. Mr. Vespa, was it again?
Yes, Elias Vespa, the curator.
All right. Yes, if you could continue on with the you're going upstairs, and we can go through or how much the product might fetch for a price, and we can also, if you don't mind, Tessa, we can continue on with the tour with these two, with V and Z. Let's call them V and Z. Yeah.
V and Z. Yes. Let's continue. And she leads you out into the smaller room, and then out the front. She kind of waves at the guards as they let you guys through. And before too long, you are back in this.
Keys hanging on the wall or anything, like key rings on the wall?
Yeah.
Ooh. Go ahead and roll perception.
Natural one.
15 for me.
Okay. Zander, you're trying to get a look at the key rings and everything, but you're not able to glance. It seems like any time that you start looking in that area, the guard that's at the desk moves right in front of your way, which is good because they move right out of the way of Valner, and he's able to see over in the corner. There's I'm talking with my hands and gesturing to the damn screen. Over in the corner over here, they actually have a set of keys that look like they are in a glass-covered lockbox.
Glass-covered lockbox inside of that.
Yeah.
One?
Yep.
Okay. Is my detect magic still up? Can I see any magic coming from that glass-covered lockbox?
Ooh. On that glass-covered lockbox, you do not sense any magic.
Ooh, okay. I've got a couple of ideas. And then, yeah, let's go back upstairs.
Okay, awesome. You guys reach back here, and about this time, where'd she go? There she is. I actually gotta give her a name. Sorry, I'm just double checking my spelling. There it is, Tamar. I'm opening dev tools and all this garbage. Hang on. And about this time, Tamar is actually back down at the receptionist desk. She nods to Tessa as well as Elias and kind of clocks you, Valner, in their midst and goes, I spoke with Lord Reimer, and he would actually... Wait, what was her accent? And he would like to speak with you when you are free.
Ah, wonderful. It'd be good to see my old friend, Mr. Reimer.
Very well, just come back up front once you're finished with your business with these two. It seems like we might be having a new item to put up.
Would you like us to go on
And
patrol
gestures to
down there?
Elias.
Yes, go continue on with Tessa while I go find out the appraisal.
Tessa then just kind of mentions to you both, that's actually quite usually the end of the tour. We like to showcase the holding locations of the items. If there's more to be requested,
if you wouldn't mind, just a quick view of the next 2 floors, so that we know how the whole auction is going to be presented, and where the item might be on display, just in case, and then where the transaction will occur. And since we've already seen where it gets picked up, we know that the transaction will occur right here, and then the pickup will be downstairs. So
go ahead and roll persuasion real quick, just to see if she puts up any fight.
That's 25.
All right.
Is that with guidance?
She looks and goes, of course. Typically, we just show this initial holding cell area to ensure that potential clients have all that they know, that all their items will be kept secure. But if there's more to be requested, I will absolutely show you. Did you, Anvea and Zander, ever fully introduce yourselves to...
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. She looks to both of you and says, okay, let's continue this while your client tends to his business.
If you want to take Annie over here, I will stand post outside wherever he's meeting.
Very well. And she walks over here through this side. Not out the walls, though. And I'm assuming you follow her, Anvea?
Yeah.
Okay. Trying to think of how we want to do this. Let's go ahead and roll Anvea, roll initiative, and since Valner will kind of be leading this, Valner, roll initiative. We'll just see who goes first.
How do you spell Ewer?
Ewer.
Thank you.
I hope that's accurate, or GPT lied to me.
Like a U-er?
Right. I got 14 initiative.
23.
23. All right, Anvea.
23. Wow.
She takes you back here and leads you up these beautiful blue carpeted stairs, and you come out after a short little... Where are we? You come out after a short little jaunt into... Trying to decide how much I can show. And over here, and... Uh-oh. Final reload the map. And back here.
I'm the map.
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map! Okie dokie.
Soy la pinche map.
And let's... Shake your money maker. What? And let's go around this way.
Nice.
You guys kind of know some of the dimensions. I actually had no clue, but apparently the thing that takes the longest amount of time in D&D is clearing the map of fog. Okay. And we can go back here and go Fill with fog. No.
So that's second floor.
How do I fog fill? There we go. Boop. Okay. Anyway, so you guys walk up to the second floor, and that is the wrong button. And you guys come up these sets of stairs that lead up here, and you are met with another extravagant, gaudy chamber of this establishment. And in front of you, there's an elegant rug that is sitting underneath a elegantly decorated desk, behind which, excuse me, I'm out of breath. Behind which is a fairly, sorry, wrong page. Is a fairly peppy female half-elf who seems to be really into what she's doing. She's going through various papers and kind of adjusting everything on her desk. And then she sees you guys both walk up, and she goes, Tessa, who do you have with us here today? She turns and goes, this is one of the security guards for a potential client. I don't remember your name.
Annie.
Oh, that's right. He said Annie. She goes, Annie. This is Celine. And you can kind of tell just with your passive perception, these guys' personalities don't mesh very well. She goes, I'm giving them a little bit of a tour. The client requested some inspection into the securities. So, and Celine kind of interrupts and goes, oh, well, I am Celine Windwalker, just like Tessa there. So politely introduced me to you. I am the public relations officer, and so I work directly with the clients, any of the invitees for the auctions, as well as providing a really great atmosphere until we head up to the auction room on the third floor. On this level, we have food, we've got places to sit and chat and mingle. Of course, there's places where you can go, and gestures kind of behind her to both sides, and refreshen yourself if you need to. But sorry, I get ahead of myself. Do you have any questions about the Exalted Collection so far?
You have a guest list? Or are there just certain people that are only invited to attend the auction?
Yes, so there are only certain people that are invited to attend the auction. Lord Gabriel Reimer puts out some feelers and invites most of them himself. Others can come in and request, especially if they're interested in some of the items that are on there. But yes, we do have a very strict background check on a lot of the attendees for these auctions. We want to make sure that they're properly vetted. They're not going to be using them for nefarious means, because obviously they are some powerful artifacts, and we want to make sure that they are used for the betterment of Exandria, as well as, not to put a damper on anything, but making sure that they have access to the funds required to purchase these items. They are very expensive most of the time.
Until that makes sense. I'll turn to Tessa and ask about how often do your guards rotate, just to make sure there's no lapse in time.
He looks at you and she goes, yeah, so we have, what is the word that I'm searching for? We have a rotation of guards that's always off duty. And so while, and she's kind of walking and talking and is like trying to usher away. And Celine just goes, see you, have a good time, bye. But she goes, yeah, very peppy.
PR.
Exactly, PR. She says, so we have a set of guards that's always off duty. And it is their job to go to each of the individual stations and relieve the next guards, and they kind of do a rotation. So there is never a point in time where there is a lapse in security, because if anything, there's double security in any given location.
Did you,
if that makes sense?
Did you set up, shoot, what did you call it? Guard duty for lifeguard. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, that's exactly what that's what it's based on, because that's where I had to draw from. So it's lifeguard duty, yes. A lifeguard goes and relieves a lifeguard who goes and relieves the next lifeguard, and that one gets to go on break. But yeah, and she goes, they go on 2-hour rotations to ensure that everybody is evenly distributed, and to avoid the possibility of bribery and other things.
Perfect. What a great bonus.
Absolutely. And as you can see here, I mean, Celine pointed out all the food and everything, and kind of takes you behind these corners and stuff, and just says these will be occupied by attendees to the auctioneering event, or to the auction, and then gestures to these two guards that are standing here. We also have a security checkpoint right here. These two guards check each individual that is brought up here to the second floor, of which are only invitees, and they also do a quick security checkpoint. That means these both make sure no weapons are brought in to the auction floor if they got missed at this checkpoint downstairs. They also make sure the people are who they say they are, and I mean, within reason, understand that we do have some clientele that enjoy their anonymity, if and disguises, obviously. So we try not to invade privacy, but we also want to make sure that people are not what am I saying? Like, evil intent is kind of what I'm getting at.
Evil intent?
Yes.
Just describing their appearance, not necessarily
right.
Because using it as nefarious means. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the words that I'm trying to put out there, but I can't think of that. So yeah, Tessa explains these guards basically make sure that, oh yeah, this person says they're this person, and they're coming up here. They're not going to ask for any identification to prove it, but they're just going to make sure that items aren't concealed and hidden with magical means, and so on. That sort of thing. A little bit more personal interaction or personal investigation after they've had interaction with the other patrons.
DM.
Yes.
Sometime in the middle of her tour, Z would like to head back downstairs to the room that they had just left with the case, but as disguised as Elise, with disguised self.
Disguised as Elias?
Elias.
Okay. Very interesting.
Just whenever you want to jump, but no hurry.
All right. Okay, and she gets up here and kind of waves to the guards and says, I'm going to take her up top. Her client's going to meet with Lord Reimer here shortly as well. And lets you through into this area that opens up into a beautiful spiral staircase, behind which is a stained glass window that matches the one above the doors that you entered in on the first floor, and goes all the way up as far as you can see in this spot. It's very extravagant. And before I move you up to the third floor, I'm going to run to the bathroom, and then we're going to jump back over to Valner.
Sure.
This could go really good or really bad.
Well, and we can We don't have to do anything right now. We're just casing the joint right now.
Yep.
But yeah, it'll be fun. I'm trying to remember what was on the docket for sale here. Gosh dang it. I had looked at it too. Ah, there it is. Okay.
Did you find it?
Dragon Heart Amulet, Starlight Loot, an Enchanted Orb. Okay. Yeah, I found it.
Yeah. There are 10 items currently on sale for this next auction, and the Crystal Ewer is one of them. Everything else was listed, but I think there was only a couple that were pictured, and I think it was those ones. The Starlight Loot, Dragon Heart Amulet. And what was the other one?
The Dragon Heart Amulet, the Starlight Loot, some Enchanted Orb.
Oh, right.
I guess I may not have put it down as best as I could have. I just wrote Enchanted Orb.
Orb of Teetaleast.
Orb of Teetaleast, right? Teetle determined. Yeah.
All right. You guys are making me work tonight. Okay.
Sorry, man.
No, you're good. This is great. So Valner and Zander, you are here with Elias. And after Onvea walks through with Tessa, Elias leads you guys through. And leads you past Tamar, as well as this group of guards. Just goes, hello, and takes you into the room with Mr. Gerald Maples.
Okay.
Gerald looks up as Elias knocks on the door, opens it up, and lets you guys in. Oh, am I showing the right one on the screen share? I am not. Boop.
There, yeah.
And he goes, oh, I see you have met Elias Vesper. Very well. Are you ready to have the tapestry? Sorry, Zander, you were waiting outside, yeah?
Yes, he was outside. Yes, this would be fantastic if we could, give me a little bit of history, maybe about this article. Like I said, I don't want to necessarily divulge everything about where it was discovered, but I would like to know the history of the item, and then if I deem it worthy, I would like to have it put up for auction. So.
Oh, absolutely, Sir Elias. And Elias takes it and goes, this is a... Oh, sorry, did you take it out yet? My bad. I might be jumping.
I thought he was appraising it. Didn't it stay in that room? I thought it stayed in that room.
Oh, no, you guys took it out with you.
Okay, yeah, so I'll whip it out then. Not
okay,
it.
Okay.
The tapestry.
But the tapestry.
The tapestry.
So, yeah, you take out the tapestry, and he gingerly takes it and lays it out on the table that Gerald has now cleaned off. And Elias just begins inspecting. He goes, oh, my. And begins looking and goes, oh.
As I put it down, I want to make sure that I don't disturb any of what is his name?
Elias or Gerald Maples?
Gerald. I don't want to disturb any of his OCD behavior. So I'm trying to be nice to Gerald and make sure that he's okay with us. Yeah. Making a little bit of disorganization in his study.
Yes. So you set it down, and you do realize that he'd kind of cleared off the table while you guys were gone, before you guys came back with Elias. So it is empty of any organized items. But yeah, Elias begins inspecting it and everything, and he just goes, "Oh, this is a very interesting piece." And Elias goes, "It is."
You need to step out so you can conduct your business.
Yeah. Oh yes, go ahead.
Right, and as Elias is going along, you just kind of hear him muttering under his breath, and he goes, silver filigree and some gold filigree over here. And Gerald pipes up and goes, it is an Elias piece as well, which is very intriguing. He goes, oh yes, very, very intriguing indeed. And you have the papers for them. And Gerald produces them, and after a little bit of this, and after, let's say, 6 minutes or so, he goes, Elias turns to you and goes, this appears to be all in order. This isn't, as far as I can tell, a valid, a valid tapestry of Miss Edulais.
So it is genuine.
It is genuine. That's the word. Thank you.
Because the depiction does say, does show the Sirius Mountains, and it does seem like it is of the Zemni Fields location, including the forest off here to the side, just outside of the Wayun Gates. So that depiction and that historical accuracy, I think, is what we were in particularly titillated by, and how this. Number one, the value that is associated with it, and if you believe you've heard of any historical information about this item in particular.
Well, as curator, I mostly delve into the validity of items as well as any magical properties and what they're made of. Interestingly enough, our Lord Reimer might actually be more of the connoisseur for Edelai's collections. So, as I understand what Tessa mentioned, is that you would be meeting with him in a little while. Perhaps he could answer those better than I. That being said, legend has it that this tapestry specifically was actually depicted of an area near the Oath Wildlands. And facing the area that you have mentioned of the Wayun Gates and Zemni Fields. So the perspective would be that of Port Damali, looking towards the Sirius Mountains.
Yes, that is correct. I did have my information incorrect. But no, continue.
And moreover, some of the interesting things of Edulais. I'm sorry, I may be overstepping. How much do you know of the late artist?
I unfortunately I've been away for the last 8 years, so if I were to have heard of it, it most likely has gone by the wayside, as you'd say.
Well, interestingly enough, this seems to be one of the final productions of her life, and should be worth a decent sum. As you likely know, or perhaps not if you've been gone for the past 8 years, she died nearly 10 years ago. And so, obviously, when a beloved, famous artist, as Edulais, once they pass, things go up in value. So that is good news for you. And again, as I said, the thread and the needlework in here is extravagant. Some of it is even gilded with actual silver and gold. It's really quite remarkable. And looks over to Gerald and goes, I would, and kind of looks back to you and Gerald and says, I would suggest a starting price of around 2,000 gold pieces for auction. Obviously, and looks back to you, that is to drive the price further up.
Of course. With having that baseline and then moving it along the way. Okay. Is there anybody within the city that you believe would be interested in an item of this value?
Well, like I said, Lord Gabriel Reimer himself is actually a connoisseur of this artist's work, so he might be able to answer even more details about this particular piece. But
I'll
let you talk to him.
What about families like the Asedala, or even the family of Bold? I know that they are probably the wealthiest ones in the town, and so would they be interested in something?
Both prominent noble families. As far as this tapestry goes, I cannot say. I have not heard either here nor there about their goings on with art dealings. That being said, they could be interested, but I do not know.
Interesting. I did run into Lady Bold not too much earlier this morning, and she is quite a firecracker. She is a very interesting, a little bit of spunk in her step, if as they say in the up in Rexentrum. And I'm gonna try and like make a little bit of BS conversation now for like the next maybe 5 or 10 minutes, just to give Zander a little bit of time to do whatever he might be doing.
That'll be a grand total of about 10 minutes. Oh, they didn't start the timer.
10 extra minutes.
So
because
sorry,
6 minutes worth of.
So you're trying to give like 10 to 15ish minutes.
No,
right?
I was trying to hit 20.
20? Okay. So you just want to talk back and forth and everything. Yeah, let's go ahead and roll like let's do 3 different checks. Let's do a persuasion. Let's do an insight, and let's do a performance.
So 27 on the persuasion.
Yeah. 19 on your insight.
And then which one?
Performance on the last one.
Performance. 8 on my performance.
Okay. So
maybe I come off as bored at the very end.
So you definitely keep striking the conversation. Initially, like you're kind of pushing for more details about the tapestry itself, as well as 80 Lies. You don't really gain any other insight into it. You guys start talking a little bit about the nobles and everything, and your insight actually gives you some. When they're talking, both Elias and Gerald, they seem to have had interactions with enough of the nobles that you start to like get into gossip, but it's not anything that you haven't heard about any of them.
I want to like start this persuasive like conversation, and then insight into just the mundane. And be like, oh, like I didn't know that. Like, did you know that like this and this and this and this? And then all of a sudden we go off on a tangent, and that tangent will take like an extra 3 or 4 minutes, and then we divert back to the original conversation.
And so you're able to do that. And so, yeah, I think you're able to buy in about 10 more minutes or so. Again, it's not like you guys are delving into anything that is unknown. Most of it's like speculative, like, oh, didn't you hear that so-and-so married so-and-so? Yeah, I heard it was a forced arranged marriage or something like that. Eventually you get back into the tapestry and the amount, and it seems like you're trying to push more for like, what if we do start at like 4,500? And Elias is very stern, like, I've seen many auctions around items like this, and you start at 2,000 and
2,000
and yeah,
would be the
and so like
you sure we couldn't push to 3? You sure you could?
And
maybe 275. Yeah.
Kind of continuing with all of that, and so your performance is like he starts to get a little bit more frustrated with you at the end.
I'm sorry. I just 2,000. You are the professional. You are the professional. I am very. Let me be very apologetic about the way that this went. 2,000. You are the expert. You are the expert. Hands down.
And we will pan over to Zander, who has just left the door just before they start delving into all the details about 80 Lies. Do you have control of your character, Zander?
Yeah.
Okay. So initially, once you start walking out, which way do you want to go?
Literally just the same way we came up.
Perfect. As you get around over here to this corner, these two guards ask you where you're going.
Did you change form?
Was there like an empty hallway before getting there?
Yeah, so just up over here, there's an empty hallway. Obviously, this is uncovered, and they might have a little bit of line of sight, but you just closed this door.
Okay, yeah, I would have cast Disguise Self.
Okay. So maybe tucked up away in there, Disguise Self. Just a moment. Doop, 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 doop. And you are being Elias?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a performance check. Just to see, you're going to perfectly replicate it, but I'm looking for mannerisms. And, yeah. Okay, awesome. All right. You come down around this way, and in fact, since I have this one, I'm going to give it to you. You're going to wear his face. Boop. And save.
Take the light off the office and the cigar.
Exactly. Real in the movie. Turns out it's very real. They both look up at you and go, hello, Elias. And yeah, go ahead.
I'm not in that fucking hurry.
Okay. And as you walk out, one of the guards you hear as you're closing the door just goes, "Did he look a little odd from the back to you?" The other one says, "Yeah, his cloak wasn't glowing this time, I think." And yeah, you get up here to the front desk, and Tamar kind of raises her hand at you.
Because it was Tesla's cloak that was glowing, not the Elias.
Oh, you said you did it to Tessa? I thought you did it to Elias.
Right.
That would have been very different. She would have thrown some fists. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea what she would have done. And yeah, she just kind of lifts her hand at you and nods. And you are able to get past her. If you want to just stop me at any point, you're going to go around here, down the stairs, and around the back until you eventually get down here. And again, it's the same site that you had before. You've got this angled walkway. A ramp. That's the word I've been trying to say this whole damn time. It's a ramp that goes down to the basement. You see the window in view, and you see the guard standing right here. He sees you approach.
I'm just raise my finger, like, open the door.
What was that?
I'll just raise my finger, like, yeah, open the door.
Okay. And he looks up at you, waves, and fiddles with something behind that you can't see, and then the door unlocks and you're able to open it up.
Can you open your cloak, please?
Sorry, what was that? I'm going to throw you on mute. I think there's some feedback. Oh, yeah, your mic's doing the robot thingy. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just gonna routine just with those visitors. I just need us to rotate. They were just a little bit weird.
Better?
Sorry, whose cloak? Who are you talking to? Oh, I need to move my...
Is that better? Is that better?
Okay. So the guy that opened the door for you is behind this area, behind a desk.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll walk
Are you coming?
I need my clipboard.
Is that better?
Oh yes, I can hear you just fine now, John.
So is that a ramp that goes down? It's not stairs, right? That's
yes,
down.
It's a ramp that goes down.
Like you said before, that's where we put the caravans to make it easier to put stuff.
That's where you'd kind of like back down into. Yeah, exactly. It's a ramp meant to be used for loading of goods.
Okay.
And such.
Good. I got the visual.
Yeah. So you walk in, you come around to the corner, and you say what to the guard again? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you say open your
change it because I thought we were going through that room and out, but if we just came around it, I'll just say, I need the list of our items for sale in the rooms that they're in, and then the keys, please. And did they leave anything in that office with you?
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Natural 20 for 22.
All right. This front guard right here goes, yes, sir. None of them had actually left anything in this room here. As far as the items, I'm sorry, we don't keep those. That's you who keeps them. And this guard, what's your passive insight?
In here with you?
What's your passive insight?
Only 12.
Okay. This guard walks up to you and just starts looking a little bit closer at you.
Yes.
And he reaches for his sword at his side and taps the guard on the shoulder and says, "That's not Elias."
I will snap and say, "What's your name, soldier?"
He looks and he goes, "That's none of your damn business. Who are you?" And pulls his sword out.
Guys, and say, "You have passed, but your friend did not check before letting me in. So I do need your names. We were just down here with Tessa."
You back over here. So you drop your disguise and they aren't listening to you. I'm going to need you to roll initiative. And I'll roll initiative for these two.
Did they pick this up because of magic?
You're not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Does Zander want to insight?
Yeah, Zander will definitely insight.
Okay.
Because I rolled a natural 20 on my stuff, so.
On your persuasion.
Insight.
Yeah.
17.
All right. So as for your insight, you get the feeling that they knew it wasn't you because as the guard went to turn and talk to you, he noticed something about you and saw through your disguise self spell.
Okay.
Because he rolled a beautiful 18 to determine. Where are you? I just wanted to make sure I didn't lie because I thought I checked your spell save.
It's like 13 probably.
Oh, that's detect magic. I want disguise self.
Yes. Spell DC.
Spell DC is against your spell save. Okay, and it's a 13.
Yeah.
All right. Just wanted to double check myself there because I was pretty sure, but I didn't know what other random crap there is. And then as far as not insight, initiative, what did you roll?
Oh, I haven't rolled it. I have advantage on initiative though. Oh, that was a natural 1, so that's good.
That's good.
If that's not better, 8.
Okay. And this guy. All right. So this lady guard, she starts looking at you a little bit closer, and oh wait, you've dropped this guy's self. I don't need to roll a check.
To reveal it.
He just goes, "What are you doing down here, and why were you impersonating Elias? I don't know who you are, and I don't take orders from you."
No, that's very good. You did exactly as you should have.
That's all
This is
he's
the one
gonna
that seen through, right?
So this guy is the one who saw through. This lady was the one who was talking to you, like, "Oh, you're the one who holds all the stuff." And so the guard at the window who initially let you through, this one up top, he was the one who saw through your disguised self as soon as you walked up. Started asking stuff. But yeah, so she's asked the question, you've responded, and then the guard's gonna go, "You're in an unauthorized area. You're not sorry, this guy up top. You're in an unauthorized area. We need to escort you out of here immediately. You're lucky we aren't turning you over to the Zhelezo."
You're lucky you still have your job, because you failed to let me or stop me beforehand, and we are bringing a tapestry down here. We are currently with Elias and the curator. So I would watch your tongue.
Go ahead and roll intimidation check. Kind of jumping around turns. I'm going to have this be your turn, but it'll kind of be a free action. Okay, 14. He looks at you, his eyes narrow, and he says, "And you are lucky we don't turn you in right now and invalidate your auction." And he goes to climb over the desk that's right there in front of him. And you see that he's kind of reaching back for some cuffs.
You put your hands on me, and it'll be the last thing that you do. We can walk up there peacefully, and we'll explain the situation.
Most beautiful mic you've ever heard in your life.
And he goes, "Good. Hey, oh man, I gotta go find my name generator. Boop." He goes, "Hey, Katraya, you stay here. I'm gonna take this one upstairs to Tessa. We'll see what she does with him." And he goes, "If you're serious about coming up with me willingly, I don't think we need to involve the Zhelezo right now."
Am I still wearing the Zhelezo's little badge?
Yeah, I don't think you've taken it off.
I'll point to it. You mean this?
He goes, "That's cute. Did you go visit the police? Or did you go visit the Zhelezo HQ today?" And he kind of grabs onto your arm, not forcefully or anything, but it's like, "It's time to go."
You did.
You did. You went and visited the Zhelezo HQ.
While we're walking, I'm going to touch my sending stone. And I believe Valnor's holding the other one still. Do I actually have to, is it 25 words?
I've got to go look it up. Hang on.
I still have it.
Sending stones. So it is.
You gotta do a D8.
While you touch one stone, you can cast the sending spell from it. The target is the bear. If no other creature bears the stone, yeah, and so you can send a short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which you are familiar. So yeah, Valnor holding it will hear the message in their mind. And it looks like it is vocal. So I think...
Yeah, he's got to.
It doesn't specify. I'm trying to decide if you've got to speak it out loud or if you can use your brain.
Yeah, they're all pretty.
That's okay. I can do it out loud.
Okay.
Valnar sent me down to check the security. You passed. And Valnar will acknowledge and confirm once we get to him and Elias. Oh my gosh.
Elias. Elise?
Elias.
He goes, none of that matters now. I don't care who Valnar is, but he's not in charge here of security. Tessa is. You're going to security.
How many words was that? Was that 15?
Somewhere around there.
So Valner, you are about halfway through your spiel of so what other creations did this artist make? Like, you're halfway through asking, and Elias is going on about a few of the works of art that she has produced, all of which you've heard of. I can give you names if you want. But then you hear this message from Zander. And he's going to take you up in here. Just going to move you for now.
Continue on the conversation until they show up.
Okay. And once he gets here, again, he's just gently holding your arm. And moving you. You what?
I was
going to buy you dinner.
Buy me dinner too.
You'd shut your mouth if you know what's good for you. And he gets up here to Tamar and mentions, hey, I caught this guy down below. He says he's with one of our clients, but he was impersonating Elias. He had a magic spell that was over. I need to go bring him up to Tessa. And Tamar looks and goes, Tessa's up with the other guard that came in with the client.
Hi, Tamar.
And she just briefly looks at you and then goes, I'll send you through. And he takes you over here to the left into the guards. He explains the same situation. And one of them accompanies you. Oh, got a multi-select. And begins walking you upstairs.
I'll explain to him where Elias is. Let's go to Elias.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion.
21.
Okay. He looks at you and goes, fine, and tells the new guard that joined and said, go take him over to Elias. There's enough of us between him and the exit. He's not going anywhere. I'll go get Tessa myself. And she begins just leading you and says, okay, lead the way. And I'm guessing you're going right back here to the office.
I'll just knock lightly.
Okay. And he... so Valner's kind of standing in front of the door. And Elias just goes, oh.
And Elias, what do you believe would be your take from the total of this transaction? Is it a flat percentage of 10% or 15%?
So, typically with the Exalted Collection Auction House, we do charge a 100 gold piece fee for security and transportation. And we also collect a 5% cut of whatever payments are paid out for the item.
Just speaking of that, 100 gold piece fee, I had my security just try to infiltrate you downstairs again. They should be showing up anytime now soon. I do apologize for what is about to transpire, but it looks like once again Tessa's ability to keep the security in this location is quite good. So 100 gold piece fee, is that what you said? That is including transport, and that is a collection of 5%. You said not, right?
The total is 5% of whatever the sell price is. So the final price that is paid for, and the 100 gold. I'm sorry. Additional security measures. Do you mean that you tried to break in downstairs?
No, that's so. Let's just put it this way: we tried to see how far we could get.
And you hear a knock at the door. At this point,
we tried to see how far we could get downstairs, and it looks like congratulations to you and to Testa's security. He did not get very far.
And Elias opens up the door and sees Zander and this guard behind him. What is the meaning of this?
They caught you in the throes, I see, Z.
Yeah, they did very good, actually.
I do apologize once again, Elias. You have to understand this is a very important piece for me. This is very, very important. I cannot leave this item in just any Joe Schmo's hands.
But I'm listening.
So you have to understand where I'm coming from. You guys deal with items of a particular nature that are very magical, mystical, and that has worth not only in value of coin but in value of historical nature. But I do also understand that you are trying to run a business, and there was no ill intent to try and steal anything from downstairs. We just wanted to see how far past security we were able to get, and it looks like, well, how far did you get, Z?
Where did you get, Zander?
I just made it down to the ramp, and I disguised myself as you, and I kind of waved my hand in the air. He did not once check my credentials. It wasn't until I approached and asked out of the ordinary question to them that he kind of made up for lost time. However, I did not make it past that checkpoint.
Well, maybe it's something that we need to bring up with Tessa.
And he's kind of like trying to think of the words to say, and Gerald pipes up and goes, "No, I do believe this might be a better circumstance to bring before Lord Reimer. If you do truly know him, then we will likely need his and Tessa's insight."
Elias, please don't be alarmed by what just transpired. It is just a necessary action that I took upon it myself to understand just exactly how secure your location is. In fact, it is a glowing. What's the word? I'm running into my dungeon master's inability to come up with the word.
It's after 10. It's the Alvin gene.
It is a glowing recommendation of your ability to keep items secure in this place. But yes, no, just like Gerald said, I'll talk this over with Mr. Reimer. Don't expect us to try and poke and prod any longer. In fact, if the guards are willing to let Z go, I can have him leave the building right now.
They both kind of look at each other and go, "Let's make sure this gets handled to Tessa." And they said, "Come on, if you would please follow me." And they lead all four of you up the stairs. About this time on Vea in your tour, you guys are about to crest the top, and a guard comes up and approaches Tessa, and he leans in and whispers. If you want to roll perception, you can see what he says.
10.
Is this upstairs or down here?
This is up on the third floor, almost.
When you clear a corner, you're supposed to actually shoot the person up there.
Okay, 25. He leans in and whispers, and your keen elf ears kick in, especially since this seems like it might be out of the ordinary. And you hear him whisper and say, "One of the guards that you were just giving a tour to attempted to break into the holding area downstairs disguised as Elias. How do we want to proceed?" And she immediately looks to you, Anvea, and looks back to the guard. And she goes, "Well, where is he now?"
Not for me.
The guard informs her, he's downstairs with the client and another one of the guards from the initial security checkpoints. And she goes, I'll go and get Reimer. You, and points to Anvea, Annie, go with him. And she kind of leads you back down with to him. And he starts to lead you downstairs. Anvea, do you want to do anything? Oh, I can't hear Holly. Let me jump out and back in.
No,
Yeah, I can't hear her either.
Oh, okay. I just know my mom has issues with that sometimes in Discord.
I muted myself, sorry.
That's all right. Anvea, so yeah, you see all of this unfold.
So I will just kind of mumble under my breath and be like, must have been another security check, and then go down with them.
Okay. And she just goes, security check. We'll see about that. And leads you all the way back down. Unless there's anything you want to do on the way down, for brevity's sake, I'm going to have you come down. And this is about the time. Gosh, timelines are so messed up, guys. This is about the time that they are talking amongst each other and like, we need to see what Reimer says. We need to see what Tessa says. And you guys are brought back to one another. And do you wait there? Do you guys talk? Do anything special?
No, if I could clear this up with Reimer, that would be the best that can be done for this situation. Once again, this was not a nefarious attempt to try and steal anything from down the stairs. This was just pins and needles, an attempt to find out what the path of least resistance was to your securities downstairs. Tessa, I do commend you on your ability to ensure that the security downstairs is...
Tessa's not with them.
Oh, Tessa's not with them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, Anvea came down, right?
Anvea came down, but Tessa stayed upstairs, and Anvea would be able to convey this to you too. But
I yelled this all the way to the third floor.
Shout it to the skies!
I shouted to the skies.
And
get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. All right, and before too long, Tessa comes back downstairs, probably about the time that you're saying all of this. Oh, I just dropped her there. That's probably why you thought she was there.
You did.
She gets back down the stairs and goes, Lord Reimer would like to speak with all of you. And mentions, Elias, you better get back downstairs. And Gerald, you're manning the station down here. Keep your eyes peeled. And
tapestry with this.
Oh yeah, I'd roll up the tapestry and take it with.
Come on, let me choose crap.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take the tapestry with us.
He kind of looks at it and just goes, it is probably for the best. And Gerald mentions, if you'd like to auction that off still after this, and depending on what, we'll see what Lord Reimer says. He's trying to be a clerk, but also trying to figure out what to do in this situation. Leads you through all these areas. Again, you get up to that second floor. It's like an extravagant waiting area with a banquet, and Celine sees all of you and says in the same chipper manner, like, oh, who do you have? And Tessa just holds up her hand and goes, not now, and marches you guys up the stairs through the guard entrance. She is filled with fury that I'll have no knowledge of. I'm just going to go ahead and bork that saying too. And come on, let me select all of them. Before long, takes you upstairs, which you see So over here. You see an area filled with benches and a very nice looking stage with two elegantly designed staircases to go up, where presumably an auctioneer might stand if she were visible. And several pedestals, 10 in fact, that you would imagine items would be placed upon. There's two guards, one on either side of the room, over here and over here, and then there's two doors. Tessa quickly leads you over here in this direction and puts Valner on top of Lord Reimer's lap for a spanking. Now, leads you into Lord Reimer's office. She opens up the door, files you three in, and then her and the other two guards go in behind you and shut the door. And you see Lord Reimer sitting there in his chair, just as regal as ever, a red tiefling with white hair, a long white beard, curved horns that almost appear translucent. And he is wearing some of the most elegant robes that you've ever seen. They almost look starry and midnight and kind of changing. And he's sitting there in his chair. His desk has been completely cleaned off. And he's looking at each of you.
You're not much better.
And his eyes land on you, Valner. And he goes, Valner, it is... I was going to say it is a pleasure to meet you. However, my chief of security has raised concerns of a security measure, a security breached. I learned from one of your own security detail.
Gabriel,
explain yourself.
It is good to see you again. Does he recognize me?
He did call you by name and said it's good to see you again. If you want to roll insight to see what you can see.
Just 8.
Insight. I mean, judging based off your earlier conversation with Tamar, he said he recognized you, at least your name, and was willing to speak with you. Whether he actually recognizes that it is you is hard to read. He looks furious, but he's keeping the beast caged.
So, Gabriel, yes, it's good to see you again, old friend. By any curiosity, do you remember our dealings in the past?
Valner, that is not one of the questions at hand. What happened and why? Was there a security breach?
If you don't mind the other individuals that are not part of this conversation, if you could have them leave the room, we can continue on talking about the questions that you have.
Ooh, persuasion.
I'll touch him and cast guidance.
Shut up. I don't know why he's so mad.
That's a 27.
Okay. I just want to see what guidance needs. Vocal and semantic.
It's vocal,
okay,
somatic,
just tapping
and vocal, somatic, and touching.
Yeah.
So 26.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up to you.
Xander's able to kind of lean and tap you and like whisper something very quietly. Nobody seems to notice. It seems all attention is on you right now, Valner. He goes, very well. Just know that our working relationship is the only reason we're even having this discussion. Tessa, stand outside. I can handle them if anything gets out of line. Go ahead.
Once again, Tessa, I commend you on how well you have trained your security. They do a good job. Please understand this is a misunderstanding. That's all it is.
And she kind of looks at you, nods, and then continues out the door with the others. Go ahead and roll a history check for me, please.
I'm howling when you're making that noise.
Just 9.
Okay. You remember, and you see him before you again, that Gabriel Reimer is not a pompous figure.
No.
He wields real power.
Right.
With him, not just political.
Right.
But yeah, that's about all that you do kind of gather from that. Why isn't that showing? Oh, I just need to put it up here. Boop and
no.
boop.
He's gotten where he's gotten to because he is very, very smart.
And he looks at you three and he goes, "Very well. The other company is out. What is the meaning of this?"
Mr. Reimer, we have an item in our possession that we were trying to find more information about, and I go ahead and I pull out the tapestry and I put it up.
First things first. What happened?
I have been put under the what is the best word to use? We have been provided a task or asked to retrieve an item. However, we are not so sure as to which item it is that we are supposed to retrieve. So upon getting here earlier today, I saw that there were several items up for auction on this coming what is it called? Saturday.
Delason.
This coming Delason, and a few of them caught my eye as to whether their protection was going to be completely secure for this coming Saturday. I have this item in my possession, which I then use to infiltrate your establishment to see just how secure this item could be, because it sounds to me like there are a group of individuals that are on their way back into Port Damali, and their actions and their behavior seem nefarious. And when I talk about nefarious, I don't need to remind you about how bad it was nearly 25 years ago with another group of individuals that utilized your auction house to procure evil items as well.
Go ahead and roll 2 checks. Let's do a deception. Although you're not deceiving. You're doing a little bit of both. You're telling some of the truth. You what?
I am still concentrating on my guidance.
Yep.
Sounds good.
So that one's 18 on that one for deception.
Okay. 18 for deception. And then
No. I don't know if I'm really persuading him. I'm just yeah. Go ahead.
Right. Sorry, I'm trying. Oh, and it wasn't really intimidating. It's hard because the way that you're talking about it's like a little intimidation, a little bit of persuasion, and so deception of 18, and yeah, let's stick with persuasion. Let's do intimidation.
That's 12 plus 2, so 14.
Okay. He leans in and looks at you and goes, "You do not need to remind me." I think his voice has changed again. Sorry.
That's fine.
"You do not need to remind me. However, I sense there's more to this story."
Yes.
"What is it you aren't telling me? Why have you tried to infiltrate?"
To try and figure out...
I'll look at Elner. Lord Reimer, like Tessa, right? Tessa's her name, or Tesla. Tessa.
Tessa.
It is my job to make sure that, as my security for Valner, that this place is secure as it says. There was no ill intent. If there was, I would have killed the guards down there and not just brought my disguise at the moment they've caught. Just like Valner said, we're just checking to make sure this item is going to be safe. He has a little bit of PTSD, as I'm sure you do as well. It is me that made the actions and mine alone. So.
He turns his attention to you. Let's see. Deception check, I think. Again, it's hard. You guys are teetering the line between truth and lie.
It works.
5.
A 5?
Rolled off a 16.
He looks at you and goes, "Did you or did you not attempt to break in to a secure location after learning about the defenses, regardless of the intent? If you truly are," and he points to your chest, "an initiate in the Zhelezo, then do you not know the laws of the land?"
Would you place your stuff in someone's security measures, taking their word that it's the best? Especially with the myriad on their way?
I take my own security measures in my own establishment.
And would you take your own security into somebody else's?
I only operate in locations that I
But
can
you didn't
trust.
always, didn't you?
Go ahead and persuade.
15.
He looks at you and goes, "And what do you mean by that?"
Before you had your own establishment here, you had your own security, yes? You didn't trust anybody else's do the job except for your own guys, correct?
I still don't trust anybody else's security besides my own.
Exactly. And you and Valnar worked together for a long time, yes? So great minds must think alike.
He transported items for me.
I'm very good at what I do. And again, it was a simple measure. I was already in the room. If I wanted something, I would have done it while I was there the first time.
Go ahead and make a group persuasion check.
17.
I'm going to do a Fury Blows and touch everybody with guidance. No,
He was in there and he touched everybody.
I did wrong one. What did you say? I just clicked.
Persuasion.
Oh, +2 anyway. So 19.
Okay. 19, 17, and 11. He looks at all three of you and he kind of sits back. He relaxes. And he just goes, "Good to see that you are similar in your company and in your persistence, old friend."
Yes, it is. You know what? Have you heard of a woman named Eldora?
Woman named Eldora.
She lives over at a place called Grave Investigations. It's near the shoreline.
I can't say that I am familiar with her. No.
Okay,
It's just part of the myriad.
Can I insight check him?
Yeah, go ahead and insight.
I'll definitely like to do that as well.
12.
12.
What about the myriad? Do you believe the myriad is back?
And let's see. So insight-wise, he does not appear to be lying when he says he doesn't know Eldora or Grave Investigations. At the mention of the myriad, his eyebrow perks up. He goes, "I've heard rumors. There's a lot of talk amongst the nobles. And I like to keep my ear to the ground. But as a businessman...
As always, my old friend, as always, I imagine you would keep your ear to the ground.
As a businessman, Myriad activity isn't necessarily poor. But, given the Briarwood situation, we have attempted to tighten up security and buyers.
Understandable.
Why do you bring up the Myriad, though? I sense there's more to this.
Yes, it basically we believe that there are troubles to be brewing at this juncture, and I'm just trying to get a leg up, and that leg up requires a little bit of coin.
He nods his head a little bit, and he goes, if the Myriad is still around, and if the Myriad is infiltrating, it would be bad for my conscience if any of these items were to get into their hands. I would assume they would use them for nefarious means, as they always had in the past. You say you were asked to retrieve one of these items.
That is correct.
That is up for sale this coming Zhelezo.
Yes. What do you know about the Dragon Heart amulet? Is there anything... Let's just put it Briarwood in that item, and I'm going to use air quotes in Briarwood.
Briarwood.
Yeah.
All right. At this point, too, on Vea, now that tension has kind of settled a little bit, go ahead and roll me a perception check with advantage.
Come on, baby. Is that 2 10s?
Yes.
Is it really? Oh, nice.
Man.
Epic. So 16 total.
It's better than 2 nat ones.
Yeah.
As the tension starts to decrease, you spend a little bit more time looking around the room, and something catches your eye.
No.
2 somethings that are currently on display in his office that have the same signature as the tapestry.
That doesn't count as a death.
And
To the right
he
place.
continues talking to Valner.
That was a
Says the Dragonheart amulet is a rare
plain white shit.
item that was crafted from a dragon's heart gemstone. It has been used in protection against dragons, as well as just an enhancement to, let's say, a dry personality. There's some benefits to it, but it is mostly a conversationalist piece for most of these nobles.
Sure. But it does have the heart of a dragon. That could be what we're looking for. What about the crystalline ewer?
The celestial crystal ewer. I have inspected this one myself. I am intrigued by all sorts of artifacts, but this one is odd, as it comes from a distant land. This piece had been crafted by the Celestials, that I know for sure. And as far as we can tell, it purifies liquids that have been poured inside. Think of poison and likewise.
So, what about the loot?
The Starlight Loot. This one was crafted by one of the Artisan Guild members here in town, or in Port Damali, and it was done so with the what's the word? Influence of the Moonweaver.
Oh, really? Okay.
When played, it has enchanting melodies that can soothe and inspire those around, and it's all been imbued with some of the moon's power.
And out of those 3 items, I mean, there's another enchanted orb, but orbs are, I mean, they can be different. They can be, objects of, procured or created. Anything about the orb?
Now that is an interesting one. He says, the orb that we've placed. I'm assuming you saw the pamphlet.
That's correct.
The orb is actually supposed to showcase the pocket watch that we have. It's covered with various and ornate engravings and was enchanted by a powerful chronomancer. If I were a shady organization hiding behind the shadows, this would be a decent one.
Interesting.
It has been told that it allows the bear brief glimpses into the future.
Interesting. Each one of those items, there's a possibility. If you are able to take a vengeful mind, I could see how any one of those items could be nefarious. If there was one in particular that we were looking for, what are the possibilities of us being able to auction, to call for an auction, but have, you know what I'm saying? Like, how easy would it be for us to be able to ensure the purchase of that item on this next Zhelezo?
That is a very good question. Go ahead and roll perception for me.
While he's doing that, can I ask if I can look at the
2.
tapestries?
4.
In a lull in the conversation, he goes, you raise your question, and he looks at you and says, go right ahead. And now that you're looking at them a little bit more closely, you notice that one of them is an oil painting that's over here behind his desk. Oh, wrong T. There we go. Over here behind his desk on the wall. And it excuse me, it depicts a celestial dance between Sehanine, the Moonweaver, and Pelor, the Dawnfather, under a star-studded sky. They are portrayed with ethereal grace, and their movements are kind of weaving patterns of light and shadow that kind of symbolize the balance between night and day. And the details on there and everything in the vibrant colors make it kind of apparent as to why this is on display in his office. The other one that you see is a woven tapestry, very much like the one that you are holding in your hands, that you just received from Velner. And it's depicting a dramatic event of stars falling over a unnamed mountain range in Exandria. The tapestry captures the brilliance of the falling stars very similarly to the tapestry you're holding, with various inlays of gold and silver and some expert techniques to illuminate the ground below. And in the bottom right-hand corner of each of these, you see the signature Edulais.
Yeah, I only rolled a 4.
Okay. He looks and goes, unfortunately, old friend, my hands are a bit more tied. I have a contract with the Caravan Masters Guild, and they are already set to deliver any items.
What about this, my lord? And I'll unravel that tapestry, noticing Anvea looking at that.
It's in Anvea's hand right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll call her over. Let him see.
I'm just going to ask, do you know much about this one? And I'll lay it out.
He looks at it, and he goes, I can't accept any gifts.
No, we just need you to
favor.
We just need you to look at it. Have you seen this one before?
Seems to match your set a little bit.
And he looks at it, and with your passives, you notice that his eyes light up a little bit when he notices the signature in the bottom right-hand corner. And he goes, I want to be clear. This is not up for debate. I will not accept any gifts for favors. However, Valner, if you were able to secure the ability to transport these goods, if you do have legitimate reason to believe one of them could be used nefariously, I can arrange to block instantaneous transport and require them be delivered over caravan. That being said, that is all I can do. If you wish to move these items, you will need to work that out with the Caravan Masters Guild.
There's one in there.
With Guildmaster Drummond.
Oh my god.
Honestly, Gabriel, I think that is probably the best method that we have to look forward to. Thank you again, my friend.
Very well. I am happy to continue to do business with you.
It's a Tuesday
You have sated my curiosity of the incursion, and you have piqued my interest with this piece on the table. If you still wish to auction it, I would be glad to have it auctioned alongside the items on Zhelezo.
Is it Tuesday or Wednesday right now?
It is the Tuesday.
I
believe Wilson. Mm-hmm.
Gabriel, I will get back to you by tomorrow afternoon. If we could be the individuals that carry this item by a caravan.
He nods and says, I will return to business shortly. Let me dismiss my guards, and we can continue talking about this piece.
That's
My
good.
lord,
Go ahead.
I might have a curiosity. You don't have a very good relationship with the Myriad, it seems. If you had the resources to help us deliver a crushing blow that might set them back for a very long time, would you assist?
In the past, the Myriad has been a blight. They only seek to push their agendas and put others at risk. Not that Delilah Briarwood was a member of the Myriad. I have no evidence suggesting as such. But she was also a blight, and she utilized my own artifacts against me. I set out into this business retrieving various artifacts to bring betterment to the world.
That was horrendous.
Not
There's no
harm.
word for what that was.
So, if the myriad is back, and if they are here, and if you can tie any of these items back to them, I would be willing to lend some support.
Like, I was smiley face and looked at this here.
If I were to be able to plant an item with a paper trail leading it back to them to where you could lock them up for a very long time, do you have anything that would
Okay, so I just
suffice for that?
I can say underplay.
They do have to get the board says.
My bad. I thought
Let me give that some thought.
I'll snap my
I-
fingers and I'll turn into what Aldora looks like.
I'm saying.
Into what Eldora looks like.
Aldora, yep.
Okay. Starts with an E, not an A. He just goes, why the disguise?
This is what your competition looks like currently.
Robots on a system.
My competition.
Well,
Do you mean the
your
myriad?
flight.
Well, that is good to know. And he kind of studies a little bit. He goes, before I can aid, though, I need to have proof,
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
I can't stick my neck out. I apologize, friend, but
I'll drop
I
it
can't
in.
stick my neck out for nobody. Or for anyone.
Right. Yeah, and even with the rules and regulations that the Clovis Concord seem to keep, it does not mean that they go away for a long time. Even with the Briarwoods, it took a mob to get them to leave this city. So,
Exactly, and there's no telling how deep their loyalties run.
yes,
As I understand, much of Eurosa was under their control.
yes.
I'm grateful now that it has returned to the hands of righteous individuals.
Same here. So yes, I'll get back to you sometime tomorrow. What time will you be here until, so that I can utilize my time as best as possible?
I am here during normal operating hours, so we open our doors at 8 and close them at 5. I'm here during that time.
Okay, we'll
Now.
work towards this, and yes, go ahead.
On to more exciting matters. And he motions to the tapestry. He let them go, right? I can't remember. I had it in my head.
They're out.
Okay.
They're outside, but waiting.
Yeah. So he walks past, opens up the door, and says, "Tessa, I must congratulate you on your handling and training of the guard. They have successfully thwarted a test infiltration. It was something that I put my old friend up to. And you are commended for your effort, and you, both guardsmen, for your proper following of procedure. You may return to your posts. I will continue to deal and handle on good terms with these three." And Tessa kind of looks back, raises an eyebrow, but then eventually nods and leads everybody back to where they belong.
I give her a stern nod as well.
Hey, your guard forgot his training sticker.
He ignores it as she continues. All right, they should all be back where they are meant to be. Anyway, he comes and sits back down and says, "Now, the more exciting matters. I am, as you can likely tell, a keen eye there. was going to say elf, but maybe not. Keen eye there, miss. And then gestures to the tapestry. This is one of the art pieces created by the famous artist, Edelweiss, as are these two. These two behind me are pictures that were created fairly early on in her career and are some that were her rise to fame. This one, and gestures to the oil painting behind him on his right, says this one is known as the Celestial Dance between the Moonweaver and the Dawnfather. This other one, to my left, is the Starfall Tapestry, and it accentuates her prowess with landscapes.
I do enjoy the one of the Dawnfather. I believe I've seen a similar depiction before with he and Sehanin's dance. It's quite beautiful.
Yes, many of these paintings have been recreated and copied. These two behind me are such copies, as I'm not always in presence of an original.
And this one, you are for sure this is an original, the one that we have.
He looks at you and looks back, or looks at it and then back up at you and specifically on Vey and says, yes. I am absolutely sure this is an original.
Do you know
I have seen copies.
Oh, you have seen copies of it. Do you know what this depicts exactly? Is there any other history to it?
There is much history. Let me tell you. So, Edelweiss, and that is her pen name. Her first name is Andromeda. She is a famous wood elf artist, as you know, and she died nearly 10 years ago, on the 25th of Undular, in 828, to be exact. Now, as you can tell, I am quite fond of her work. She had 5 truly famous pieces. The Celestial Dance was this one, the Eternal Guardian, the Weeping Forest, the Starfall Tapestry, this other one to my left, and the Enchanted Garden. But near the end of her life, she became enamored with a legend that was about 3 very powerful items that had been placed within Exandria by the Dawnfather, the Moonweaver, and the Raven Queen. And as I know, Andromeda was a perfectionist and sought each of these items so she could properly capture their beauty in her art. At some point during this search, he was terribly wounded. But her devotion was to her craft. She suffered her injuries to see the project through. And when she finally finished all 3 of those, she died that night. These 3 pieces were the Sun's Blossom, as you see before you, the Lunar Luminescence, Lunar Luminance, and Whispers of the Grave. Now this one, the Sun's Blossom, is thought to depict the Sun Tree in Whitestone. But it is slightly different. To delve more into some of the travesty. After her death, when these were discovered and they were released, there was a lot of controversy. Sorry, I pulled a Taliesin from T&E. The WoW people, they say controversy. Anyway, reassuming. And many were superstitious regarding them. Many were also skeptical of the origin, as they were quite different from especially her famous pieces of work. Once she passed, the estate attempted to capitalize on the last items and began to produce additionals. Unfortunately, due to the unpopular nature of them, there were only 10 of each created, most of them with obvious flaws. And I can tell you this one is flawless and is the original. Do hope you plan to auction it.
Does it depict anything in particular? Like, is there a understanding among, not necessarily critics, but collectors like yourself, that she's actually pinpointing, like, a gate or any other type of, conspiracy theory about this one in particular?
The meanings of them are often speculative and argued among the collectors and fanatics. But this one appears to be the depiction of a location, of a boon from the Dawnfather.
Yeah, we were under that impression as well. For this elven princess that's with us here right now, it seems to hold a lot of sway. She believes that she's actually seen this location, or at least lived near this location at one time.
That is interesting. Do you believe that you've seen this?
In my dreams.
He's going to insight you, but you're not lying. So he looks at you curiously. He goes, very, very interesting. Should you find... Oh, go ahead.
There's 2 other tapestries. Have you seen them?
2 others. So the only other tapestry that she had made was this Starfall one. The 3 that I mentioned, is that what you are asking?
Yeah, the other 2 that she made at the end of her life.
So the lunar luminance is actually a stained glass window. It was in her estate when she passed. And again, like I said, they had attempted to recreate some of them, but due to the popularity, only 10 were made. The lunar luminance, oh my gosh, is a stained glass window that captures a beautifully blue glowing mushroom that is depicted against a dark cavernous background.
When did she die?
When?
Where?
She was in her estate, in her bed.
Where was that at? Which town? Which city?
Of course, you guys would ask this. I don't know. She was within Phalowin. Or Phaolin.
Phaolin. Okay.
Phaolin. If that one's right.
Okay.
Let me double check.
That's on the Menagerie Coast. It's on the Menagerie Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in between here and Port Zoom.
That is correct. Let me just double check my notes.
What about
Yeah.
the other item? So that was a stained glass window?
That was a stained glass window, correct.
Okay.
What was the other item she made?
The flinch is white.
The last one for Whispers of the Grave was a solemn marble sculpture portraying a lilac
And then I put a fire back.
in full bloom.
Actually,
It was growing outside or out of the cracked earth of a hero's grave. And on it she had inscribed names of some legendary heroes. Many of which changed with some of the copies.
from Olympus.
But it
Didn't really see hers.
it was taken as a honor for their sacrifices, as well as the bridging of the realms of life and death. A fairly deep piece.
They're all man.
I gotcha. So this one
Why did he come?
is a
roll
depiction.
like
The one that we have is a depiction of Pelor, and I imagine the lunar luminescence is one of Sehanin, and then the Whispers of the Grave would be our Raven Queen.
That is what most speculate, yes.
This is.
I'm being attacked by two girls.
Have you ever been down a rabbit hole?
I think I should.
Oh,
Things keep going deeper and deeper.
literally, no. But I understand what you mean.
As always, Gabriel, your intelligence astounds and amazes. You are truly a professional in your art. Like I said before, we'll get back to you very soon about what our plan is.
Very
Is that-
well.
Oh
there-
yeah, did you see that?
Is there
Did you
anything
see
that you would ask of us?
Stop trying to test my security measures. I assure
Does
you.
Does he give a chuckle on that one?
Yes, he does. And he says, I assure you, things are as tight as they can be.
Apologies again, old friend. And even though I know she won't accept it, please send my apologies to Tessa as well.
You've got a fairly decent read on that one. Now,
She's
have a good rest. Have a good day.
Thank you.
And please, let me know if there is anything I can do to help.
I will get back to you very
The
soon.
city. Let me know if you've secured that deal.
Okay.
Even the two other people have.
Thank you.
And
And
then head outside, and I will go pick up my sword.
They go.
all right. Go all the way down, and all the way down, and all the way down, and all the way down again.
All right. Some stuff to think about.
And as far as like the tapestry and all that stuff goes, you're keeping it on your person then?
Yes. For right now, we'll keep it on our person.
All right. And yeah, you return downstairs, and as you're walking back through, they recognize you, Valner. These guards over here on the left side, and they give you your short sword. Excuse me, your short sword back, and then you guys are able to walk out just fine.
I want to go see that palm reader.
Oh man.
And I think we'll end here tonight.
Not
I've
bad.
got more we could do, but I got up at 4 a.m. this morning for work, and I took a nap or two. But
No, that'll be good. And plus, like, we can, if Josh plans on coming back too, we
right, gives you a good spot to kind of start up with next week.
Well, and I'm sitting here writing notes like, okay, we can follow one of them home, and then we can make him sick, but then not have him call in sick and then show up as him. Right? Is magic in the room possible? We don't know that. So let's go downstairs, change appearance while Anvea and Zander are both there and see whether their change shape works. Right?
Yeah.
Let's replicate the keys and the key ring that's inside of the back glass box. So, like, if we take some, keys off, then we hang back the other ones that look like them. Can we make one of the guards ill before their shift? And can we make a fake ewer? But this actually circumvents everything because now we can just take it.
Right, it's interesting with where you guys are at because there's a lot of things you guys have learned. You guys have a really good, decent layout of the place. You have a good understanding of the security. You have an in with the proprietor. You've made some waves,
right,
with some of the security people, and yeah, there's a lot of angles that can be at play.
I kind of wanted to talk with the PR chick because I was going to see if I could, like, get her enamored with me so that then all of a sudden I could, because, like, I'm persuasive, right, and I'm deceptive and whatever, and so, like, I could quite possibly, like, get her infatuated with me to where she'd want to go out on dates or something like that, and then all of a sudden now we can make it to the second floor. So all good
point too. All sorts of angles.
Dude,
holy cow, Hawk and Holly, what are you guys doing? Hawk threw me for a loop. Holly's just like distraction nation over there.
Did a good job. Holly was all over
distracting all the people.
I try.
Gosh dang it.
I kept asking Hawk what he was doing the whole time. I was like, what are you doing?
Stream my game.
The real read on things.
Good. I'm hoping I'm hoping Holly's taken some notes on some of this info. I will include a ton of it too, but
what would the real ewer be good for? Because anything that that purifies something, that is an interesting, like, so think of Batman 1, right? The one with Christian Bale. They get all of the teddy bears and then they throw all of the drugs into the sewer system. And then they get something that can disperse the water in the sewer system to make the drug into an aerosol, and now you've just created chaos in the city, right? Well, if you have your gas mask, then it doesn't affect you, right? What could somebody do with poisoning the town, but then having a crystal ewer to make sure that all of them are fine? Like, like, can you leap that far? Evil, right? Yay, nay? Does anybody?
I think you guys are giving me way too much credit. You think I'm thinking that deep?
No, I don't.